organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Here's what's just ahead tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Harassment on social media, how one app's creating problems for Iowa universities.
And how a night of dancing is breaking down one cultural barrier.
And in sports,
our Whip Around crew is ready to fill you in on how volleyball, soccer, and field hockey performed.
All that and more coming up next.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tanner Sigworth.
And I'm Mary Caldwell.
We are just over a week away from election night. Iowa City has had a number of politicians visiting the past few weeks, and this week is no exception.
Daily Iowan TV's Selena Carr is standing by with ethics and politics reporter Quentin Mashek to tell us what's going on in the world of politics. Selena, Quentin?
Thanks, Mary. And Quentin, it's great to have you on set today.
Selena, it's great being here.
Well, first off, Quentin, tell me, what politicians can we expect to see in Iowa over the week?
Well, Selena, there's a lot of politicians coming in, just like last week. On Wednesday, we're going to have Senator John McCain coming into Coralville to speak with some Johnson County Republicans at the Coralville American Legion. Then this Saturday, just announced, singer-songwriter James Taylor will be coming in to have a concert at Wells Fargo Arena. Right before that concert, he's going to be endorsing Bruce Braley for U.S. Senate. Obviously, Braley is locked in a really tight race with Joni Ernst. She's a Republican candidate. And on Thursday, right before that, we're going to have Governor Chris Christie from New Jersey coming in to again endorse and really rally up the Republican base for Governor Branstad.
Okay, and also two more political figures coming to Iowa, Hillary and Bill Clinton. So what are their intentions for their visit?
Right, well, both are going to be speaking with more Iowa Democrats. They'll both be, again, endorsing and really rallying behind Bruce Braley. And, there's no secret that Hillary is certainly considering a presidential run, but she hasn't firmly said when she will announce that, if at all. So we'll have to kind of just see how things go.
Okay. And also, I saw that the Daily Iowan editorial board endorsed a candidate. Who's that? And tell me a little bit more about who and why.
Well, just today, the editorial board endorsed Bruce Braley for U.S. Senate. A number of issues they have outlined for that reasoning. Braley has been a pretty big champion for higher education and the need to increase college affordability. He's a pretty big proponent of environmental safety measures and keeping the EPA intact. And he's also really critical and very important to some older Iowans who see Senator Tom Harkin, who is hoping to succeed as a true Democratic leader. So, yeah, that's who they're endorsing, and they're choosing to do him over Joni Ernst.
Okay. Well, thanks, Quentin. That's your latest political news, but be sure to stay with Daily Iowan TV and our political team as we cover all of the visiting politicians this week. Tanner, Mary, back to you at the desk.
Yik Yak, an app that allows people to anonymously post content, is stirring up quite a controversy on college campuses. The app was released in 2013, but was recently become a hit among students at the UI. While some posts called Yik Yaks are positive, there is also a fair share of yaks that attack organizations, professors, and even fellow students. The UI has not officially released any statements on the subject, but Drake and Northern Iowa have warned students about the offensive nature of some posts.
Universities are paying close attention to these sites because they can create an unwelcome environment for students, and universities want students to be happy.
Echdale went on to say that because the app is anonymous, posters become desensitized to the message they are sending.
A federal act requires the UI to report sexual misconduct that occurs on or nearby campus. However, the Daily Iowan has found out that the university doesn't disclose the exact locations of where these crimes occur. In their campus-wide notice, they only use a general description. Students or others who live by where the sexual misconduct took place never find out exactly where the crime happened. A member of UI President Sally Mason's Advisory Committee on Sexual Misconduct said naming the locations doesn't accomplish anything, but instead points fingers and doesn't focus on preventing the sexual assault. And still to come on Daily Iowan TV, the future of Iowa City. We'll tell you about the big reveal happening tomorrow.
And in sports, find out more about the women's tennis team's big win. So Tanner, did you get a chance to get outside today?
I did. Actually, I went for a run.
Really? How far did you go?
Not very far. But I feel like that's just what people do when it's nice outside. Hopefully I can do it again tomorrow. Let's toss it over to Katie Sextro in the weather studio to give us the latest forecast. Katie?
It will start to cool off after today. Tomorrow morning will be much chillier than earlier today. We'll see temps around 47, and as the day goes on, it will warm up to about 54. It should be sunny with clear skies throughout the day. During the evening hours, temps will drop to around 48, and we'll see partly cloudy skies. Wednesday and Thursday look similar with temps in the mid-50s, clear skies, and a small chance of rain on Thursday. Both evenings will be rather chilly with temperatures in the upper 30s. When Halloween arrives, you'll want to make sure you've got a warm costume. Friday's high is only 48, and when it gets dark out, temps will dip down to the lower 30s. Luckily, we should see clear skies most of the day. Make sure to bundle up for game day too. It will be about 40 degrees around kickoff and stay in the mid-40s with clear skies throughout the game. On Saturday night, temps will be in the 30s. Sunday will be slightly warmer with temperatures in the low 50s and a possible chance of rain during the day. There's a look at your forecast. Tanner and Mary, back to you at the desk right after this.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined and now I make videos for the university. I joined and now I work for the most trusted news source in America. SJMC.
Downtown Iowa City is about to get a whole new look. The new streetscape project will have many improvements for the downtown area, including wider sidewalks, better overhead lighting, and a new stage canopy in the pedestrian mall. The new advanced designs will be available for the public to view on Tuesday, October 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Amos Dean Ballroom in the Sheraton Hotel. City officials will also be standing by to answer any questions and provide additional information about the designs.
A masquerade ball held in the IMU on Saturday had a bigger purpose besides dancing and music. Bringing two different cultures together, Daily Iowan TV's Suin Wang has the story.
Oasis is a student-run organization to promote diversity and on-campus intercultural communication. Oasis hosts their annual event Cultural Ball Game, and this year's theme is Dancing Through Culture and Masquerade Night. This is the backstage of the Cultural Ball event. All the performers are ready to go up on the stage. Be sure to check more information about the Oasis organization.
We decided to pick some really Chinese style things to compete with the other countries like Korean style, K-pop stuff, or like Indian dance, or like American style hip-hops.
The performances include Seven Senses, UI Dance Club, break dancers, and so on. When talking about the improvements for this year's event,
Oasis collaborated with a lot more student organizations to promote our events, which is definitely an improvement for this year, and we do plan to keep this relationship going on.
with an expected of 300 to 500 students, Oasis addresses the concerns of international students and bridges the gap between international students and the UI community. Suwen Wang, Daily Iowan TV.
22-year-old Major League Baseball player Oscar Taveras died in a car accident near his hometown in the Dominican Republic on Sunday. It's reported that Taveras' car veered off the road. Taveras signed with the St. Louis Cardinals as an outfielder in 2008 and within a few years became one of the top talents in the game. You may remember one of his career highlights a few weeks ago when he hit a dramatic home run in Game 2 between the Giants and Cardinals. Prospect evaluators predicted Taveras to have superstar potential.
Tanner, that has to be so difficult for everyone on the Cardinals team.
It is. Cardinals manager Mike Matheny issued a statement earlier today just telling how the team's going to work and cope through this situation. It's a huge loss.
For more sports news, we'll now toss it over to Whitney Blakemore and Austin Luce in the sports studio. Guys?
Thanks, guys. And Oscar Taveras actually played nearby in Davenport. Taveras was a member of the Quad Cities River Bandit minor league team in 2011, where he amassed 83 runs. But fortunately, We do have some better news in Hawkeye athletics with field hockey picking up a win over the weekend.
Also, the Iowa soccer team ended the weekend with a tie, but the volleyball team dropped their match. The Whip Around crew will fill us in on all those matchups later in the program.
But first, Big Ten Conference announced the kickoff times for the next 2 Iowa football games.
Iowa once again draws 2 early kickoff times. The Hawks will take on the Northwestern Wildcats this Saturday as kickoff is slated for 11 a.m. in Kinnick on the Big Ten Network.
Iowa will also take on Minnesota in Minneapolis next Saturday at the same time.
All but 2 of Iowa's 8 football games this season have been 11 a.m. starts.
And filling us in on how a few Iowa teams performed over the weekend, we'll now hand things off to our Whip Around crew. Take it away, guys.
Hello, and welcome back to our Monday evening Whip Around. I'm Taylor Bartz here at Grant Field, where 3 Hawkeyes just played their last home game of their careers. Saturday's game against number 4 ranked Penn State was senior night for the Hawkeyes, honoring Sarah Watrow, Bryn Gitt, and Danny Hemian. The Hawkeyes went out with a bang, posting a 4-0 shutout against Penn State, with junior Natalie Cafone earning herself a spot in the record books by scoring 1 and breaking the program's top 10 list. Senior Danny Hemian posted 2 in her last game as a Hawkeye, and sophomore Stephanie Norlander scored 1. The Hawkeyes are going to wrap up their season against Maryland on the road November 1st. For more on Hawkeye volleyball, I'll send it over to Zach Mackey.
Reporting on Iowa volleyball, and the Iowa volleyball team has seen a drought after getting their first Big Ten win on the season last weekend. The Hawks have dropped their last 2 Big Ten games. The first coming against the number 5 team in the country, Wisconsin, and the second against the number 25 team in Minnesota. That Minnesota match was plagued by the offense. Offensive kill percentage was just .022 through that match, and now the Hawks look to rebound this coming weekend against brand new conference foe Maryland. Now out to Laura Belanda.
Here at the Iowa Soccer Complex, the Hawkeyes fell to number 7 Penn State this past Sunday at Jeffrey Field. The lone goal scored by sophomore Corey Burns early in the first half wasn't enough to hold off the Nittany Lions, who scored 2 goals in the second half to get the win over the Hawkeyes. This Friday, the team will travel to Nebraska to finish out the regular season. That'll do it for your Monday Whip Around. Now back to you at the studio.
Thanks for that, guys.
As week 9 of the college football season wrapped up, the country now boasts only 3 undefeated teams in number 1 Mississippi State, number 2 Florida State, and number 23 Marshall.
But not a whole lot of movement within the Big Ten this week. Michigan State held their own in the 8th spot after they trounced in-state rival Michigan 35-11.
Ohio State stayed true to the 13th spot after a 31-24 overtime win over Penn State. Rounding out the Big Ten's ranked teams, Nebraska bumped up 2 spots to number 17 after a decisive home win over Rutgers by a score of 42-24.
The Hawks look to capitalize on a week off from competition as the Northwestern Wildcats come to town this weekend for the American Needs Farmers Game Day and Family Weekend at Kinnick Stadium.
It was a successful weekend in Des Moines for the Iowa women's tennis team. The squad wrapped up their fall tournament schedule at the Drake Jamboree on Sunday with a record of 26-6, including a perfect 8-0 run on Sunday.
Sophomore Amy Tarrant finished the weekend undefeated in singles play. Senior Annette DeHonix and freshman Anastasia Reimchen also going undefeated in doubles with 4 wins.
The team will have a break in action until January, where they'll kick off their spring schedule at the UCF Night Invitational in Orlando, Florida.
The men's golf team also wrapping up their fall competition. The team traveled to Dallas to compete in the 7th annual Royal Oaks Intercollegiate Tournament hosted by Baylor University.
The tournament began earlier today with 2 back-to-back rounds of 18 holes and will conclude Tuesday with the final round of 18.
Iowa goes up against a strong field of opponents of 6 ranked teams. Big Ten opponents Michigan and Minnesota will also be in competition.
Iowa is currently ranked at the 38th spot in the Golf Associations of America coaches poll. The Hawks are the 3rd highest rated team in the Big Ten.
Well, that will do it for us here in the sports studio.
In tomorrow's program, we'll have everything you need to know from Kirk Ferentz's squad's press conference before they face off against Northwestern on Saturday.
And we'll take a look at one Iowa field hockey player that's already putting her name into the record books.
Tanner and Mary, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get an inside look at tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan. Make sure to read about the latest 2014 election coverages 7 days out until Election Day.
And find out more about the UI's big recognition for bicycling.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night.
Or anytime online at dailyiowan.com. I'm Mary Caldwell.
And I'm Tanner Sigworth.
From all of us here at the Daily Iowan TV.
To the rest of Hawkeye Nation.
Thanks for watching and good night.